The ongoing conflict between Iran and the West isn't exactly new, although dropping bombs on their nuclear facilities is. It seems like every few months, there's another headline about nuclear talks, sanctions, or diplomatic standoffs. But what if I told you that the roots of this ongoing conflict stretch back over 70 years, to a single dramatic event that changed the course of Iranian and world history forever? The year was 1953. Iran was at a crossroads and the world was watching. What happened in those fateful days would set the stage for decades of mistrust, upheaval, and power struggles that still echo in today's headlines. Here's the story behind Iran's turning point, a story of ambition, oil, foreign intrigue, and the fight for national sovereignty. Back in the early 1950s, Iran had a popular, democratically elected prime minister, Mohammad Mossadegh. He was a symbol of hope for many Iranians, a leader who promised to put the country's interests first and stand up to foreign powers. Mossadegh's boldest move? Nationalizing Iran's oil industry, which had been controlled for decades by the British-owned Anglo-Iranian Oil Company, now known as BP. For the first time, Iranians would benefit from their own natural resources, not just foreign shareholders. The British government was furious. Losing control of Iranian oil meant losing millions in profits and a key strategic asset. Desperate to regain their grip, British officials tried everything: blockades, embargoes, and even secret negotiations. But Mossadegh wouldn't budge. So the British turned to their powerful ally across the Atlantic, the United States. Enter the CIA and a covert plan called Operation Ajax. This was the first time the CIA orchestrated a coup to overthrow a foreign government, a playbook that would be used again in other countries for years to come. Over just 4 tense days in August 1953, CIA officer Kermit Roosevelt Jr., the grandson of President Theodore Roosevelt, led a team of American and British agents in Tehran. Their mission: remove Mossadegh from power and restore the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, to the throne. The operation was a masterclass in covert manipulation. The CIA funneled money to street gangs, bribed politicians, and spread fake news through newspapers and radio. They even recruited influential religious leaders to turn public opinion against Mossadegh, painting him as a threat to Islam and Iranian tradition. The first coup attempt was a disaster. Loyalists to Mossadegh quickly crushed the uprising, and it seemed like the plot had failed. But the CIA didn't give up. They regrouped, doubled down on their efforts, and launched a second, more aggressive push. On August 19th, chaos erupted in Tehran. Violent protests exploded across the city. Cars burned, crowds clashed with police, and the streets were filled with confusion and fear. The city was on the brink of civil war. By the end of the day, nearly 300 people were dead. Mossadegh was arrested and put on trial, and the Shah, who had briefly fled the country, returned to Iran, now firmly backed by the United States. The coup was complete, and the old order was restored, but at a terrible cost. The aftermath was tragic for Mossadegh. Once a national hero, he spent the rest of his life under house arrest, isolated from the world he had tried to change. His dream of a free and independent Iran was crushed, but his legacy would inspire generations to come. The Shah, now more powerful than ever, ruled Iran with an iron fist for the next 25 years. His regime was marked by rapid modernization, but also by political repression, secret police, and growing resentment among ordinary Iranians. In 1979, that resentment exploded into revolution. The Shah was overthrown, and Iran became an Islamic republic, forever changing the balance of power in the Middle East. The shadow of 1953 still looms large over Iran's relationship with the West. Every negotiation, every standoff, every protest is haunted by the memory of foreign intervention and broken promises. For many Iranians, the coup is a symbol of betrayal, a reminder that their fate was decided not in Tehran, but in Washington and London. The 1953 coup is a key reason for the deep mistrust that exists today. It's why history buffs and political analysts alike point to those 4 days as a turning point, not just for Iran, but for the entire world. Sometimes, history changes in the blink of an eye, and sometimes, the consequences last for generations.